Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's Life's Questions with Jennifer Hudak.
Welcome to Life's Question. I'm Jennifer Hudak, and today, in our segment, Who Was Jesus?, we'll be talking to two very special guests from high school, Alexa Padron and Carmen Rao. We will be discussing Jesus' childhood, mission, and his last days. First, on this week's segment of Who Was Jesus?, we will be discussing Jesus' childhood with Alexa Padron. Alexa?
Hi. It's so nice to finally meet
So nice to see you today. It's a beautiful day out. So Alexa, you've been studying theology for quite some time. Where did your faith in Christ begin?
Well, I was born into a Catholic family, and they put me in my local parish school, and I've been studying theology for maybe 9 years now, and I'm furthering my study at the school I currently attend now, which is an all-girls archdiocesan college preparatory school, and I'm currently enrolled in the Theology 2 class, and I've just learned so many things. It's great.
What kind of things have they taught you that have been different than your elementary days?
Well, a lot of truths have been revealed to me. Back in my elementary days, I was taught so many things that I just didn't question, because what was there to question? That was what was in the books. But now, I'm getting deeper into my faith because I'm learning the truth about it.
In what ways has your faith been questioned this year? Like, for example, the conspiracy theory behind Jesus' birth.
Jennifer, I'm pretty sure you're probably referring to the fundamental teaching of the Catholic Church that Jesus Christ was born of a Virgin Mary.
Right.
Virgin Mary, yes. Well, what is kind of shocking to me, at least, was you think of Jesus as like, oh, such like a great, oh, everyone loved him,
Right.
most popular guy in the village, or whatever you want to call it.
Your ideal perfect person.
Of course. But Jesus was bullied. And that's because he was born out of wedlock. But people back then, they wouldn't understand that, she's a virgin, like she never had any relationships with her, what we would call now fiance, Joseph.
Right.
So, another thing that was brought to my attention was maybe Jesus wasn't even born in Bethlehem.
Well, all Bibles, every story growing up, and any basic faith of Jesus, you're told that he's born in Bethlehem. Where are you being taught that he was actually born?
Well, there could be many possibilities. The gospel writers said that Jesus was born in Bethlehem was because it would follow the line of King David. Also, concerning Joseph, he might not have even been a carpenter. Studies show that Joseph was probably more of a mason, as a stoneworker, because trees weren't even...
So are you suggesting that Jesus would also be a mason, following in Jewish tradition that he would follow his father's footsteps in whatever his work was?
True.
Wow.
So instead of being a carpenter, he would be a mason or any type of artisan, because trees weren't even that abundant in Judea. The last thing I want to point out is the time and place of Jesus' birth. Well, I already discussed that.
We celebrate Christmas in honor of Jesus' birth on December 25th. So are you suggesting that he wasn't born on December 25th?
Yes, I am. I know it's hard to handle, but December 25th was just picked as a date. It's most probable that Jesus was rather born in the spring, near April. Jesus probably wasn't even born in a manger, how the Nativity seems to suggest.
Every nativity, basically, a lot of our faith is just a story to many people.
There's a deeper meaning. We have to remember that. So instead of being born in a manger, it was more possible that Jesus was born in a cave.
Thank you so much for your time, Alexa. That was
Thank you.
quite the intriguing conversation. I'm sure we'll have you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we're taking our questions from Who Was Jesus and his childhood to the streets with our field worker, Marie Drompa.
Hi, I'm Marie Dronepaw, here on the streets of Miami, here to ask bystanders some simple questions about the Catholic faith. I'm here with Gisela and Melissa from Argentina. Hi guys. What have you heard or been informed about the birth of Jesus?
December 25, was born in Belém, and from Maria Jose.
Hi, I'm here with Carolina, who is an alumni from Our Lady of Lourdes Academy, and we're going to ask her the question. Okay, Carolina, what have you heard or been informed about the birth of Jesus?
That he was born in a manger. That his mother was Mary, was immaculate conception. That his father was Joseph. That that's about it. That they were Bethlehem. That he was visited by the
Okay, I'm here with Maruska. What have you heard or been informed about the birth of Jesus?
I'm informed that he was born on Christmas Day, or is it Christmas Eve? Something about Christmas.
Okay, anything else?
His mom was Mary.
Yes. Okay.
Here to discuss Jesus' mission, we have Alexa Padron returning and her peer, Carmen Rao. Hi, Carmen.
Hi.
Hi, Alexa. Nice to see you.
Once again.
So as we discussed earlier, both of you have been studying Christianity and Catholicism for quite a while now. You've been in theology classes. So what can you tell me about Jesus' mission?
Well, Jesus' mission started when he was baptized in the Jordan River by John the Baptist.
John the Baptist was his cousin, right? You mentioned throughout the Bible.
Yes, that's what is mentioned, but actually, the meaning of this word in Hebrew means deep friend.
So you're telling us that John the Baptist wasn't his cousin.
Well, if we go back to original scriptures, no, they weren't.
Wow.
Well, in Jesus' mission, when he was teaching in Capernaum, he taught to poor fishermen and also people on the margin of society. Society including prostitutes and tax collectors, people that no one but Jesus would bring in and have supper.
So he reached out to all types of crowd, the rich, the poor, and mostly those who needed it the most from him.
Exactly, yes.
And what can you tell me about Jesus being a miracle worker during his time?
Well, there were several during his time. He wasn't the only one.
There was actually many miracle workers, and you would think, okay, yeah, what makes Jesus so special?
Right.
It's the long-lasting effects of his teachings. Who knows if he actually turned water into wine, cured the blind?
So are you like insinuating that like those stories aren't true, like, or did they actually happen?
Well, we can't know, but the message of the story is what's important.
I just wanted to add that there are a lot of historical and political influences behind Jesus' teachings. For example, he mainly reached out to those people who were oppressed by Roman authorities during those times. When the Romans conquered Jewish population, this was very devastating because it had been one after many conquering people that conquered them. And they had been oppressed after many years, and so Jesus just offered his message of hope of a new land, a new kingdom. But people didn't really realize that it was on earth, but in heaven.
Right. Well, thank you both so much for your time today. I enjoyed our time together. Carmen, I'll see you again later. Alexa, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you. Bye. Thank you. Taking it to the streets again, Marie Drompa will see how twisted people's view of Jesus is.
Here with Carolina again. Can you identify who this man is? Okay, saint. Can you identify who this man is?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Okay. Can you identify who this man is in the picture? No? Okay. Can you identify who this is? Who is it? Jesus? Okay. I'm gonna show you some photos here and you tell me if you know who these people are. Okay. What about this person? Yeah.
That's God.
Okay. What if I told you that this is a more real account of what Jesus looked like? Because it's true. Yeah.
Here to discuss Jesus' last days, we bring back high school student Carmen Rao. Hi, Carmen. Nice to see you again. So, Carmen, what can you tell us about Jesus and what he did exactly to provoke the authorities on his last days?
Well, around his last days, Jesus was around Jerusalem, where the Jewish authorities and the power was located. There, Jesus preached his message, totally different from the one that the high priests and the elite scholars would preach. He preached them at the temple, which was the maximum symbol of the power of the Jewish authorities.
Right.
And this provoked a lot of riots among its people. How come Jesus was contradicting what the high priest were saying? And this also put the Roman authorities in a nervous position, because if the population wasn't controlled, the risings would occur and their power could be threatened.
Right.
So one thing led to another, and Jesus was sentenced to death just because he claimed to have power over these Jewish and Roman authorities.
Right. So he was taken by the Roman authorities to Pontius Pilate, who sentenced him to death.
Correct.
What can you tell us about what went on in those last few moments where Jesus was encountered with the beatings and the stories of Barabbas, everything that we hear in the Bible? What can you tell us about that?
Yes. The New Testament states that Pontius Pilate, in a little justified position, he didn't know, he let the people choose. But actually, Pontius Pilate was a ruthless leader.
Thank you, Carmen, for joining us, and we'll have you back on the show. Thank you so much. Here today to discuss and verify what the students have been talking to us about is archaeologist and specialist Caroline Garrido. Caroline? Hi.
Jennifer.
Pleasure to have you, as always.
Thank you.
So, Caroline, what can you tell us about what the students have been discussing today? I mean, is it true? Is it not true? Let us know.
Well, to verify everything they've been talking about, I have to say, I'm impressed how high school students came to access this type of information about Jesus' time, which is like 2,000 years ago.
It blew my mind. I had no idea that at such a young age they can grasp that much.
Exactly. I have to say that adding to the image of Jesus Christ that was estimated, this was a very good estimate achieved from skulls that were found from people during Jesus' time, and then also adding information to his last days, that segment. Actually, Jesus didn't carry the whole entire cross, which was something that we all visualized during
bearing his own cross.
his last days. Well, actually, he only carried the beam, which was the horizontal part where he was nailed into. So that's a fact.
Have you or any other archaeologists ever uncovered parts of that beam or any remnants of those last days?
Jesus was not the only one to be crucified, and there are no remains of his cross nor the nails, so probably displays of parts of this cross or nails in churches could not be fact.
Well, thank you for being here, Caroline. It was such a pleasure. So, we'll see you next time. Thank you for coming. And that concludes this week's segment of Who is Jesus in Life's Questions. We'll catch you next week when we discuss Why Don't Animals Talk?